Yo, it's your boy DZ, man. You already know it's not about the setback. It's about the get back. They're cracking down on all the massage parlors around. Specifically, they cracked down on one in Florida and locked 21 people up, man. And you got to understand that this has been going on for years. It goes on in every state. The Asian women give you a shower, give you a massage, and then go all the way with you. And this is happening all over the country. These people are coming in from other countries just for this service. And what I think, honestly, right, is they crack down on you if you ain't paying your dues. This is how I see it. Because they know these places are being run in all these cities across America. But periodically, there's certain locations that get cracked down on. And my opinion from it is they didn't pay their dues. So, of course, they're going to crack down on them. Because they feel that they didn't pay their dues, man. The games. And we see though, right? They're doing this everywhere. It's the Asian women, and they have no problem with selling themselves. They have no problem with giving you a happy ending. And they've been doing this for a long time, and we got to be real about it, man. They've been doing it for a long time. And in Florida, right? They didn't crack down on it in Florida. And I'm going to play the clip for y'all in just a second so that y'all can see what the sheriff is talking about. How they're locking the women up and the men coming to buy it. But in my opinion, right, they know these places are operated throughout the country. I think that when they don't pay their dues to whatever county it is, that's when they crack down on them. Because these places are operating too freely. And we're going to be honest with it. These places are operated too freely. You can go walk right in, get you a shower, get you a massage, and go all the way to bed with it. And they've been doing this forever. This is not something that just started. So I think that if they don't pay the dues to whoever, wherever they're at, they send the people on them. Shut them down. And they end up opening up somewhere else. They end up continue to operate, man. And we're going to check this joint out, right? And you're going to see where the sheriff is explaining about how these women have got arrested and how they're cracking down. But I don't think this here, right, is ever going to stop. Because that's a big business, man. And somebody else above them is getting paid. They're not operating these houses without making sure somebody gets hit. Because we already know if you open a bar and you don't got all your paperwork right, in certain cities, there's people that'll run around and put the pressure on you to get you shut down, or else they want to be paid. We already know how the game go. They want to be paid, so they know how to run that kind of pressure to make you pay. But I'm going to let you check this out.
3 of them are citizens at this time. The rest of them are here on legal work visas. I don't think the federal government had in mind this kind of work when they gave them a work visa.
Hold up. I want to start it right here.
We have to show you some of the more bizarre events. I'll start out with the most bizarre. And as I pronounce their names, understand I'm born and raised in Polk County, Florida. And these names are from the Republic of China, okay? So I'm just saying. So we don't know if her name is Hing-Ah, Hung, or Jinx Hung, or whatever, but this is who she is. We'll give you the appropriate spelling, and you give it your best shot. She's 60 years of age. I'm sorry, she's 37 years of age. She charged $60 for a massage. Now, this was supposed to be a legitimate massage. My undercover agents asked only for a regular legal massage. But she started upcharging and inappropriately handling, in fact, tried to have full sex with this undercover detective to the point that he had to push her off and start to get up to leave. She was extremely aggressive, at which point she grabbed him, tried to get him to sit back down. She stood in front of the door so he couldn't leave, and then she tried to hold him down. Now understand, they said this was really interesting because this is a big man, undercover detective, and they said, might have been 5 foot tall. She wasn't as big as a popcorn fart, and she was trying to hold this man down. So anyway, she obviously not only got arrested for prostitution, but a litany of other charges that included battery. Then there's Yan Lu. She's from Winter Garden. I neglected to say that Mrs. Hong here was from East Valley, California. So here's one from California. Yan Lu is 64 years of age. She was from Winter Garden. She was paid $60 for 45 minutes of sex. She left the room and she came back with a condom. Now, this was not in a commercial package, but it was wrapped up in like paper, maybe used, okay? And tried to have sex with the undercover. And the undercover she upcharged $290 for a total of $350. She was very, very aggressive. He said, I didn't say one word about illegal massages, happy endings, nothing. And she was aggressive to the point that she actually tried to have sex with him. She got arrested, as you can imagine, for a litany of charges. Then there's Rufin Ren. She was also 64, but she goes by the alias of
funny
Susan.
looking.
She's from Flushing, New York. She wanted $80 for a 1-hour massage. 30 minutes into the massage, all of a sudden she comes out with this exotic oil and starts massaging the undercover with oil. She turns the lights down, and then she started massaging him in areas that constitutes illegal conduct. She was arrested. But during this time, the undercover would say, no, 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 just a massage, just a massage. So on 3 different occasions, she continued to try to come back and upcharge him to engage in sex. So that got her arrested as well. Then there's Jin Fing Mu. She's 59. She's from Lakeland. She's a U.S. citizen. It was to be a 1-hour massage for $70. She made the statement to the undercover that she travels between New York and Florida. So apparently all of these ladies are on a circuit. They don't stay here for any lengthy period of time. And she then wanted to add $20 for a happy ending for the massage. What's interesting about Jin Fin Mu is that in 2023, December 2023, less than a year ago, she was arrested here by us for the same exact thing in another audit. So these investigations are still underway, and the message is clear that if you do illegal conduct in what is otherwise a legal business, you will be arrested. And I caution customers of going to these kinds of establishments, okay? Now listen, I'm cautioning customers that go to these kinds of establishments. No, we're not going to do one of these craft operations, but maybe somebody's videotaping you. Maybe somebody's giving you the opportunity to violate the law. I don't want you to get in trouble. So if something happens later on, I can always say, duh, I tried to warn you. Stay out of these places. And for those that have the proclivity to illegally operate in what's otherwise a legal massage business, you too will go to jail, because we continuously audit these to make sure that they are complying with the law. Now, the overwhelming majority of the massage parlors that we audit follow the law. And there's new additional regulations that just came into being, where you have to keep a record of who you do a massage for, information on your customers, and information on who does the massage. We're going back and filing those regulatory charges after the undercover investigation, because we found they did not comply with any of the laws. So, a word to the wise. If you don't want to get arrested and have your picture up here on a skin so soft bulletin board, don't do it. And this is the ladies that's doing it, because it was an undercover operation with our detectives. Next time, it can be the customers. Any questions?
Sheriff, you used phrases like they were on a circuit, they're sent here for a while. Who is behind that?
We don't know, but the investigation is ongoing. And it's clear that I don't know what I don't know yet, but our detectives, who are simply the very best in the business, will figure it out. But in the meantime, I tell folks, if you don't want to go to jail, stay out of Polk County with your crime. Otherwise, you'll go to jail.
And I know in the press release, I think a couple of them said they were owners of the spas.
Right.
Is that, do you believe them that when they say that the owners of the spa, who, like, locally, who owns them?
Well, that's under investigation as well, and we're not releasing everything that we know at this point in time in the investigation, but when they say they own the spa, obviously that even puts them in a more precarious legal position.
Sheriff, are you looking into human trafficking?
Sure, that's always first and foremost, and that is, we audit these massage parlors to make sure they comply with the law, but that is a secondary concern. And of course, none of these talked about human trafficking. They all talked about that this was, they were here legally engaged in prostitution activity. Some of them confessed, some of them made admissions, but that is a significant concern. And as you know, we're always looking out for the victims of human trafficking. But, you know, it doesn't take a great detective to figure out everybody's Asian, everybody's from China. I mean, there's not another Asian country represented here, according to these ladies. So I often wonder, why do you have people from communist China here on legal work visas where they can infiltrate such areas?
So, Sheriff, can they get their work visas?
Yeah.
What can happen with that now?
We will work with the federal government. and attempt to revoke the visas if that is possible. Yes, absolutely. We want them back in their home country if they're not citizens of the United States. You come here, you even legally, you come here, you violate the law, should have lost our trust at the federal level, and you should be returned to your home country. Now, whether the federal government will do that, I don't know. Under the current administration, we can't even get them to stop illegal people from coming here. And these folks, from all appearances, came here with legal documents, which is a step up.
Now, you heard what he just said, right? He said, under the current administration, which is Biden, we can't get these people to stop coming in. Pay attention to that, man. He sat there and said this. Under the current administration, which is Biden, Kamala Harris, we can't get these people to stop coming in, man.
From what we've seen.
Sheriff, years ago in Hillsborough County, along Kennedy Boulevard, they had the same problem over there. And they shut them all down completely.
Right.
Do you feel like they may have moved over a county, like we'll open up here? Or?
No, this is not a residual effect from that. This is certainly people that have come here. Obviously, we believe they're on a circuit. We believe they either individually, on their own, move from area to area as the heat turns up on them, or maybe there's a more organized structure, but our investigation will tell us that. My message is, if you don't want to go to jail, don't do it. My message is also to potential customers, if you're going there, and they were very comfortable and engaged in this conduct without any prompting from the undercovers, so we know there are people going there. Hey, your picture can be up on the next board too, but it's a choice. And if it's up there, I don't want to hear any whining and complaining, because I stood here and gave you a warning today.
They cracking down, man. I'm going to tell you, they're cracking down on those massage parlors. And I only think they crack down on them when whoever's not paying their dues, because they're running all over the country. And we got to be real. Everywhere across the country, they're running. And we just see every now and then they'll do a crackdown on certain spots. And you got to wonder, why are they cracking down on this spot? Why? Because it's so many of them going all across the world. It has to be a reason. And they're saying like they're doing an audit. They did an audit by sending the undercovers in there, and the undercover goes in and the people try to perform the sexual acts, but they stop them, right? But they're like trying to be forceful. So they're getting charged with more charges than just trying to push prostitution. They said one of the ladies was in there like fighting to hold the officer down to give him oral. The officer was pushing her off. She got an extra charge for that. We already know that these people been running so long, right? They got some type of system in place, right? Whereas though, they're able to get here at will, because he said they're coming here on work visas, right? They're coming here on work visas now. And they're able to operate, and they're like sending the people to different shops. You understand what I'm saying? They're sending the people around to their friends. So they're basically running a human trafficking ring. And we got to be real with this. They're running a human trafficking ring, and this is their MO. Them Asians come from different countries all the time. And you can call in and Let me know how you feel about it. They calling to different places inside of their cities. The one lady that just was on there, she got arrested at a whole nother location. This is not her first time. So they got her on record from constantly going to different places performing these acts. And this is not going to stop their game. This is what they do. These are operated in every state. Every state they have these. In the bigger cities, they're more like spread out and they're more in bigger cities, but they're everywhere. Happy endings are in the massage parlor. And they're never going to stop doing what they do because it's a big business to them. Why would they stop this business? They're getting paid over and over for this. And they're bringing people outside of the country that are working for extra cheap to do these acts. Now, we already know that Asians are some hustlers and they're going to work. But this is a lane that we already know is illegal, but they still come to do that. Think about it. In their country, they might not be able to make moves as they should. So they come here and get right to it because everybody's looking for sex. And we got to be real. The Asian people been doing this for so long, man. This ain't nothing new. It's just that in that county, wherever that is, somebody didn't pay the dues that they were supposed to pay. If they would have paid the dues, they wouldn't have no problem. And I'm going to tell you, when you pay your dues in these type of areas, they let you go. They not going to hold it on you. They're going to allow you to operate the way you operate. But when you don't pay, that's when you start having all the pressure and they want to get you out of there. Because I think they're already linked in with the whole system. The system is designed to make money, man. And for these places to be in every city, in every state, and they just pick and choose which ones they want to run down on, that lets us know that this is something that y'all are allowing. Be honest now. When they don't want something to happen, when they want to shut something down, they shut it down. These places continue to operate. But they're saying that most of the massage parlors in their cities are operating legally. When I know a lot of them aren't going to get that money. They're going to get that money, man. The people are here on those work visas. They just going hard. They just doing whatever the boss say and whoever come in there. And they not checking IDs. They not making sure they're not the police. They just in there making money, moves. That's all they doing. And this is happening all over the country, man. For real. And this is for real. I'm like, it has to be they didn't pay the dues. Because they operate straight like it's legal. You come knock on the door. If you want to knock on the door and you want to get you an Asian woman, you just go ahead and knock on the door. They let you right in. So for this situation to take place, these people must have not paid their dues, man. They had to not pay their dues. And that's how I see it, man. I really think that they ain't pay their dues, man. And they cracked down on them. The Asian massage parlors. The Asian massage parlors, they've been doing this, man. This ain't nothing new, man. Yeah, this ain't nothing new. At all. It ain't nothing new at all. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see, man. Hey, man. You know what? Let me see. Hold on. What they say? We're gonna check this out, though, man. Hold up. We're gonna check this out.
This is an ABC.
Has lost the election to the former president. She's at her alma mater in Washington, D.C., where so many supporters had gathered last night hoping that they would hear a much different speech from the vice president. Today, delivering this speech.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Man, y'all can see the people didn't fall for that fake
Good
smile.
afternoon.
Y'all can see that.
Good afternoon.
The people didn't fall for the fake smile.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let me say, and I love you back. And I love you back. So let me say, my heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up and as long as we keep fighting.
And I want to say this, right? This is why she had a problem with winning. The people are tired of being sold fake hope, man. And we got to be real with that, man.
To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know, folks, But we must accept the results of this election. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that and anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States.
Hey, listen, man. It's like they only want to use the Constitution when it's beneficial to them. And that's what I say about prosecutors. They only want to use the Constitution when it's beneficial to them, not when it's supposed to be used, man. The Constitution is supposed to be upheld all the time, man, not just when it benefits you. And this is the type of games that they play.
And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do.
And she's still saying this, right? Not understanding that this didn't get you where you needed to be to win the election. She still doesn't understand that. And she still wants to say the same thing. This is what the people didn't have the most concern about. The people had the concern about the justice system. The people had the concern about their financial status. And she still doesn't understand that.
We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence.
But we're not seeing that, though. We're not seeing you guys protect the schools from gun violence. We're not seeing that. People still are going into the schools, going out of control. We're not seeing that, man.
And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld. And we will continue to, and we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect, by looking in the face of a stranger and seeing a neighbor.
Man, I'm telling you, the people are tired of that hope speech, man. They're tired of the hope talk. And she's not understanding that, man. They're tired of the hope. People want to see something for real, not you just telling us. We don't want to hear about you telling us. We don't want to hear that. And I guess they didn't understand that.
It is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And, winning the popular vote was very nice. Very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races, and I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that. Nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady. Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? No, she's done a great job. Works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, there's Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman, that one. Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Vance. And he is a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp, and you know the enemy camp is certain networks, and a lot of people don't like this. Sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay. Which one? CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks like, he's like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it, and then he just goes in and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words, Rick.
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America. And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country, and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally. Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden. We call her the Ice Maiden. Come here, Chris. Come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, say something. Say something.
This wasn't expected, but I just want to thank obviously President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a hell of a candidate, and he's going to be a hell of a great 47.
2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And but I saw it come down and turn around, and it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning, and I'm saying, only Elon could do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And because, especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor, do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space-age movie or something. I put the phone down. Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash, and then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and I put it straight, and it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it, and just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see, and I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No. Nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit North Carolina, they were really devastated, the water. This was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon, and I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is expected to deliver remarks today after Trump's historic, one of few of any plans to congratulate Trump, as Russian relations with the U.S. are, in his words, at a historic low. So what can we expect Putin to say in the speech today?
Hi, Dan. Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting for President Vladimir Putin to appear. He's due to give a major speech, a major planned speech in Russia. It's supposed now to go ahead in about an hour. I think we expect him very much to talk about the war in Ukraine, and there is some expectation that he could make some sort of comment about President Trump's election in the United States. I think at the moment what most people are trying to wait and see is, will Putin give some indication that he is ready for negotiations on the war? Does he want to have negotiations? The war in Ukraine has already become immediately perhaps even the top foreign policy issue on the agenda for the Trump administration. We've already seen reports today of people asking what sort of peace plan is President Trump hoping to put forward, given that throughout the campaign he's talked about ending the war within 24 hours. The Kremlin has said that that's not possible, but they have also again suggested that they feel the situation on the battlefield in Ukraine is going badly for Kyiv right now, and that they should prepare to negotiate. I think I was speaking today earlier also to a top Ukrainian official, the head of Volodymyr Zelensky's political party, who told me that the key thing for Ukraine now is security guarantees, that if the war were to stop, if there were to be a ceasefire, it would need to be permanent, and that their number one priority is that they should get security guarantees down.
Now, Patrick, Trump says he plans to end the war in Ukraine, but the Wall Street Journal reports that that plan depends on Putin being willing to stop the conflict in exchange for a 20-year guarantee of Ukraine being kept out of NATO. How's Russia responding to that?
Yeah, so this report in the Wall Street Journal this morning is attracting quite a lot of attention. As you say, it's from an anonymous foreign policy advisor to Donald Trump, saying that one possible proposal would be for Ukraine to give up joining NATO for 20 years. The conflict would be frozen, the front line would be frozen, there would be a demilitarized zone along the 800-mile front line. It would perhaps be policed by some kind of European or UN force. No US troops would be involved. And in exchange for this, Ukraine would continue to be given a significant amount of US weapons to be able to continue to defend itself. So far, Russia has not commented much on it. It was pretty much dismissed by the Kremlin spokesperson earlier, who's just said that they only see it as a Wall Street Journal proposal and too abstract for the time being, Diane.
All right, ABC's Patrick Reevell, thank you.
Tonight, breaking.
So what happened last night? Anybody do anything interesting? Okay. The 2024 presidential race ended yesterday. And this is what the country and the world woke up to this morning. Take a look.
Pay attention.
This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before.
All right. I want y'all to pay attention to how they react to this. Like, they so upset. But pay attention, man.
So, how you feel? I'll start. Yeah, go ahead.
My takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made. But I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it. We should love it. We should protest if the situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will. And I've been through this before with Nixon. It's been very difficult. But boy, oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it.
Yeah.
Well,
like, that's the problem. We're tired of the hope, man. And give Trump his due, man. Trump was in the building before and he handled the country. They're just upset because Kamala didn't get it. And they got this old funny opinion about the situation, but I really think that they're not making no sense with this.
Echoing the sentiments, Joy, one of the first thing I wanted to say for anyone that needs an example of when the person you voted for does not win, you do not say the system must be broken or that it was rigged. You say it is what it is, and you show up anyway. And I want to commend all those people that voted, because you sometimes hear people say, well, it didn't matter. No, it did matter. That was still your currency. That was still your power. And people turned out. Now, if you didn't vote, you really don't have a say in the conversation, so you can go ahead and sit down. But for the rest of you, and then a lot of what I think about is what I always tell my kids when things go on. You feel what you feel. Everyone has different emotions. Some people got what they wanted. A lot of people didn't. And you feel anything that comes up, and then you turn around and you say, let's look at the tapes. Let's see what we did. Let's see how we continue to fight for the people that we care about. And you take one step in front of the other. And
man, they not understanding, right, that it was the wrong person running to be president. It wasn't about a woman. It was just the wrong person altogether, man.
so here we are today, and I still feel that optimistic because I feel arm in arm with so many people who agree with me. and I'm not going to stop marching. So
I like this pep talk, Coach Haynes. Listen, is it the outcome I wanted? No, but we live in a democracy. I have my vote. Right. Millions of people cast their votes did. And what's important to me is this. Tens of millions of Americans, our friends, our neighbors, our family members, voted for Donald Trump. We disagree with him. I know we all do at this table, but they are good, decent people who are patriots and love this country. And I can't speak to what drove them to the conclusion of being with him, but I think it is a moment for us to listen to each other, to hear each other, express what our concerns are. I've spent the last 4 years doing that, and also listen to people who are with him, because this is a country that there is truly more that unites us than divides us. I know it doesn't feel like that for many people in this moment, but we need to bring down the temperature, the name calling, the demonizing, let the other side, if they want to do that, they can do it. But I think it is a moment to listen to the voters. And this, I have to say, I've always thought he could win. I thought in the final stretch she might eke it out. I didn't expect it to be this resounding, and I think there are some lessons from it. I think we forget about rural America. I think the working class feels left behind. They feel like the powerful, the elite only care about them and their power. And he spoke to them. We may not have liked his words, but they turned out for him. I mean, the map was, it was beyond Reagan what we saw last night. And I think we need to start listening more about the concerns of everyday Americans who feel like this system is failing.
When Reagan won, I remember the whole.
Hey, listen, she did say something, that was real. We see he spoke to the people, man. The people that the world thought wasn't going to vote for Trump, they voted for him. And there was a lot of people that may have told you that they was voting for Kamala and voted for Trump, man. We already see that.
Map was red.
Yeah. It was pretty red last night.
Always
I don't know.
red.
I'm profoundly disturbed. I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America makes a perilous choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry, not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher.
I really don't like her, man, because she's so fake. She said, I'm not worried for me. Well, we know you're financially stable and you're really not worried about the other people. You're just trying to act like it to make the people feel like you're on their side. You're just upset Kamala didn't win and Trump won. And she's not going to admit it, but we can see it.
I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that.
Ah, that's a lie.
So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country, because I remember applying for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felons. Well, and so that box better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk. I think
no fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, economists have made clear that he's going to increase the debt by $7.75 trillion. I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps. And I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country.
See,
and I think that it had nothing to do.
That's the problem with people, man. That's her concern about a mixed race woman winning the election with a Jewish husband. This is what she's concerned about. She's not concerned about the financial aspect of our country. She's so concerned about a woman that's mixed race becoming the president with a Jewish husband. Come on, man. That's why people stop following what these people say. And we're going to be real. People stop following what these people say because you're just saying what benefits you, not what benefits the world. And we got to pay attention to that, man.
Do with policy, I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
Well, I think it,
no cultural resentment.
I think it
Nobody.
has to do with a lot of things, that being one of them.
That's the crazy. That's just so crazy for her to say that. It's not about the cultural. It's about the world is in a financial turbulence and she's not experiencing it because she's financially set, but people are. So the people that are financially struggling are not listening to what you're saying. And she doesn't understand this. When she's being told that the people that are financially messed up are not thinking about Kamala Harris's skin color and women's abortion, they're thinking about how they're going to feed themselves and how they're going to pay the bills. So she really couldn't understand this because she's not having financial issues. And we got to be real.
Kids when things go on. You feel what you feel. Everyone has different emotions. Some people got what they wanted. A lot of people didn't. And you feel anything that comes up and then you turn around and you say, let's look at the tapes. Let's see what we did. Let's see how we continue to fight for the people that we care about.
Let me see. Hold up. I was up here. So
You should not be prevented from employment in this country, because I remember applying for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felons.
Well,
and so that box better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk. I think
no fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, economists have made clear that he's going to increase the debt by $7.75 trillion. I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed-race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country.
That's the problem.
And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
Well,
had nothing to do with cultural resentment, man. People are just tired
I think
of
it has to do with a lot
dealing
of
with the
things,
same
that being
thing.
one of them. I'm obviously very disappointed. I'm very sad. I was at the Kamala Harris headquarters yesterday in Washington, and it was a very sad scene. The mood turned immediately, and I tell you, there's a quote I get a lot of inspiration from, and it's a quote that I read when I was reading about John F. Kennedy, and it says, "Whether I am on the winning or the losing side is not the point with me. It is being on the side where my sympathies lie that matters." And that to me brought me a consolation and inspiration this morning, because
She did this in 2 months.
Yeah, I know.
She did this in 2 months.
She left it all on the field. Yes, she
look,
did.
she, you know, everybody can.
Man, the people were tired of hope, man. They continue to try to sell us the hope, and we were tired of it, man. Hey, come on, man. They're gonna continue to do this, though. Continue to do this. Let's see. I want to play this one right here, man. I want to play this one right here. You can't force that on everybody, and they saying it's less than 1% of the population. I don't really like homegirl. She thinks she knows everything, I guess, because she was a federal prosecutor. I tell you, man, prosecutors are the worst, man. They're ignorant. They just talk anyway. I definitely don't like that. That's not even something to clap to. Like, He's telling her that most of the people don't understand, and she's just trying to say, well, maybe you should do this. That's why things didn't go the way she wanted to. Like, her personality is so ignorant, man. Hey, man. Alright, they must ain't want me to play that. They ain't want me to play the stream of Stephen A. Smith talking. I guess I can't play that one. They shut me down on that one, man.
Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air.
They want to hold it on that one. Yeah, they want to hold it on